Hi everyone, today's video is going to help you as you work through quiz number 2. Let's take a look at the first question together and work through it completely. Okay, so the first question says, which choice matches the way the picture is set up? How did they break up 7 times 4? So we have a picture of an array that has 7 rows of 4, right? 7 rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, with 4 circles in each row. We are going to use the distributive property to break up our larger array into 2 smaller arrays, into 2 smaller groups. So I'm actually going to cut my array in 2 so that I can look at just one piece at a time. So if I look at this new piece of my array, I'm going to cross out these numbers here. How many rows do I have now? Count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. So I have 5 rows of how many? How many circles are in each row? 4. Very good. If I take a look at this part of my array, we're going to do the same thing. How many rows do I have? Remember, the rows are going across. That's right, I have 2 rows of how many? Right, 4 in each row. So 2 rows of 4. So I can break up 7 times 4 by creating an array that's 5 groups of 4 and adding it to an array that's 2 rows of 4. So when I look over here at my choices, do we have 7 rows of 4 and 4 rows of 7? No. Do we have 5 rows of 4 plus 2 rows of 4? That looks good. Let's check the next one just to make sure. Or do I have 2 rows of 5 plus 5 rows of 5? I don't, right? So here I have my 5 rows of 4 plus my 2 rows of 4, right? It's my 2 parts, adding them back together to make that whole array. Great job, friends. This one's a little bit tricky, so I'm glad that you worked hard through it. Let's take a look at the next question. Okay, so question number 3 is similar to the question that we just did. So it says, which choice matches the way the picture is set up? How did they break up 8 times 4? So here we have 8 groups, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, with how many in each group? Very good, right? We have 8 groups of 4, but they are using the distributive property to break 8 times 4 into 2 smaller groups. So let's take a look at just the first group together. How many groups do we have now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's right. So let's write an equation to match this part of our picture. So we have how many groups? 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. So we have 5 groups of 4. That's right, 4 in each group. Now let's take a look at the other part of the picture. How many groups do I have in this part? Very good. I have 3 groups of how many in each group? 4. That's right. So remember, when I have my 2 parts, I have to add my parts back together to get the whole thing. So I'm going to put an addition symbol right here. So this is what we're looking at. Okay, so let's go through this together. I want you to decide which choice matches our equations over here. So let's see. Do we have 5 rows of 4 times 2 rows of 4? Do we have 5 rows of 4 plus 3 rows of 4? And I'm saying rows, I'm sorry. Do we have 5 groups of 4 plus 3 groups of 4? Or do we have 6 groups of 4 plus 3 groups of 4? So I'd like you to pause your video and you pick the choice here that matches how we broke up our picture and how we wrote our equation. Pause the video. When you're ready to go on to the next question, press play. Okay, friends, great job. Let's take a look at one more array question together. So this one says, which choice matches the way the picture is set up? How did they break up 9 times 4? So remember, the 9 times 4 represents our 9 rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, so 9 rows of 4, meaning 4 circles in each row. I'm going to break this one up again one more time. And we're going to take a look at just this one part of our array. So I would like you to write the multiplication equation that represents this part of our array, this picture right here. So how many rows do you have with how many in each row? Pause your video and press play when you're ready. Okay, great job, friends. You should have told me that you have 5 rows, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of 4. So 5 rows of 4 in each row. Let's take a look at the second part of our array. I'd like you to pause the video again and write an equation that matches this part of our array. So how many rows do you have and how many circles are in each row? When you're ready, press play. Okay, friends, great job. So you should have told me that there are 4 rows of 4. Now remember, when I have my 2 parts, I add them together to get my whole, right? So these are my 2 parts, and this is my whole. So now I'd like you to pause the video and you decide, do you have 5 rows of 4 minus 4 rows of 4? Do you have 5 rows of 4 plus 4 rows of 4? Or do you have 5 rows of 4 times 4 rows of 4? Pause your video and make your best choice. Okay, friends, we're doing a great job. We have 2 more to go. Okay, the next question says, there we go, it's a little blurry. The next question says, which choice matches the way the picture is set up? How did they break up 9 times 6? So I'm not going to cut up my picture anymore because I think we're getting that idea. But this picture over here shows 9 sixes or 9 groups of 6, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, with 6 in each group. So I'm going to write the equation nice and big here. 9 groups of 6. Now, on your quiz, you can see that they're broken up this way. So you want to look just at this part and just at this part. So I'd like you to pause your video. In a minute, I'm going to cover up this part, and I want you to tell me what equation matches this part of our picture. Then I want you to pause your video and tell me what equation matches this part of your picture. When you've done that, please press play. Okay, friends, great job. So you should have told me that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 groups of 6. And over here, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 groups of 6. When you have a part and a part, What do you need to do to the two parts to find the whole? Fantastic. You need to add them together. So I want you to do, sorry, my camera keeps getting blurry. I want you to do the same thing that we've been doing all along. Check what you have here with the choices down here and pick your answer. Okay, you can press pause, and then when you're ready to do the last problem with me, you can press play. Okay, friends, I'm going to get you started on this next one, but it's very similar to the one that we just did. Which choice matches the way the picture is set up? How did they break up 7 times 6? So again, our whole picture shows 7 groups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Our whole picture shows 7 groups of 6, right? 6 in each group. Our picture was broken up right here. So I have 2 steps for you. I want you to write your equation that matches this part of your picture. And when you're done with that, I want you to write your equation that matches this part of your picture. When you've done those 2 steps, press play. Okay, friends, great job. So I'm not going to tell you the answer here because I think that you guys probably have a pretty good idea of what equations represent each part. Remember, when you have the 2 parts, you want to add them back together to get the whole. So go ahead and check what you wrote for each part, each equation that you wrote, and match it to the correct choice. Okay, guys, that's it. Great job. Thanks for working so hard.